Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Alex, and I'm here with Jan, and we are here to talk about what today?
Well, today we're talking about the green development in Chongqing.
That's right, and we've got some details about local market, and we're bringing in some guests on the show here today to talk about energy efficient cars, or EV cars, or whatever you'd like to call them. And we've also got, of course, our special reporter on location, Aiko, and we're going to bring those two onto the program as we speak. All right, everybody, here we are. And here's the cast of the show today. Hello. Maybe you guys can introduce yourself to our audience.
Ladies first, Alco. Go right ahead.
Okay. So this time I'm a guest. Hi guys, I'm Echo from iChongqing, and right now I'm in the Guangyang Island, which is really a magnificent ecological restoration example in Chongqing, because Guangyang Island is located in the central of the Yangtze River. It is really a big, huge island, but in recent years there are some ecological recovery infrastructure and project going on this island. So I think actually today I'm not prepared for any live stream or interview today, but I'm just doing some video footages, just taking some pictures and talking with those experts and professional ecological recovery field guys, like talking to them about those stories behind this island, behind this project. So I think that's what we are going to talk about today.
Well, I have you on that screen there. How far are you actually out from the center of, we'll call it the CBD, the center of the city?
Actually, I think it's within 1 hour driving.
1 hour.
Because I'm not sure about the accurate distance, because it is an island downtown the city, so it's not far away. It's
an island in the city. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to our other guest that we got here, Walkabout Rojo. Introduce yourself to our audience here. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Benavides, aka Walkabout Rojo. I'm originally from Los Angeles and have been living in Zhongshan, Guangdong for almost 7 years now. And during my time here, I've been exploring. That's kind of one of the things I like to do, is just explore. And I'm really into exploring nature and exploring new technologies and new things. One of the things about my channel and my life is I'm smart enough to know I don't know everything. Therefore, everything is a discovery. And as a vlogger, what I like to do is go out with my camera and explore and learn things as I go, so that the audience can also learn these things as I go. And I've been doing this for many years. And so I've gotten to know and experience and learn during this journey all about this topic. Being from Los Angeles and growing up there, there's a lot of focus on ecology, restoration, environmental protection. My family is heavily involved in this, especially with the ocean and nature in general, and also living a green lifestyle. And it's quite a pleasure and a treat to see how things are developing here in this country. It's actually phenomenal. So that's me.
Yeah. Well, I have you on here. Maybe can you tell the audience a little bit about your channel, what you've been doing on your channel, and why you're so into this EV movement, the energy efficient movement, or what is the correct terminology for these types of vehicles?
I would think new energy vehicles or green energy vehicles. There's many different terms in the industry.
Well, I mean, I've noticed, even just coming back and forth to Chongqing, and especially China, since 2003. I mean, Chongqing in general, the city that I'm in, so it's quite a big city here as well. It suffered a lot of environmental damage. 20, 30 years ago, this was quite a big industrial city, still is. But they've managed to move this kind of like to an industrial park. And there's a local thing here where they call it the blue sky target. Have you heard of anything like that before? The blue sky target?
No, I don't. No, I don't know that.
So what it is the locals, they try to count how many days they could see blue sky in the city. And the target initially started with 100 days. Then it went up to 200 days. And in 2021, of course, you're going to get cloud coverage, but they've come up with 326 days out of 365 days a year. Now, that's quite a change from what this city was 10, 15, even 20 years ago. If you see it, this city on how it's portrayed, we'll use sites like CNN or MSNBC. This is what originally attracted me to the city, because I really like big cities with big CBD areas, central business districts. And what I found is I couldn't see a picture of Chongqing except covered in smog. And it was a running joke where my wife said to me, well, let's go visit a city like that for Christmas. And and when I got here, I was pleasantly surprised to see, how clean the city was. Now, there's also another reason why this happens, is because we have two rivers that flow through this city, the Jialing and the Yangtze. And these are very big ports to use for goods, for industrial goods, cargo. And, Chongqing has really tried to move forward on that. So they felt that they got the industrial park sorted out. And then they now focusing on the automobiles. And I'm not sure, this is going to be right up your alley now, that, they're one of the largest automobile manufacturers in China at the moment. And as well, a lot of their focus is on the new energy intelligent cars. Have you heard much about Chongqing's involvement with
Chang'an?
Sure.
Yeah, Chang'an, very big player in there. A lot of joint venture partnerships, a lot of startup companies, and a lot of investment too. A lot of investment companies investing, not just there in Chongqing. They're maybe based in Chongqing, but they're investing throughout the country in a lot of these startups. So Chongqing definitely has its hands in this. I've been to Chongqing, I've seen it, and I was there about 4 years ago, and I didn't know much about it. I was just traveling through, and I spent 2 days, and I got on some of the elevated rails, and the thing that surprised me the most was the amount of infrastructure there. It really is. It lives up to its nicknames: the city of the clouds, the city of bridges, the city of the mountains, right? And the infrastructure, as an engineer, I'm a civil engineer by trade, and it blew me away how much infrastructure it is and how it is all interconnected. And a lot of it was still under construction when I was there. So I'm eager to come back and see it. But it is a definite automobile city. Some cities are more than others. Chongqing is definitely an automobile city. It's like Autopia from Disneyland,
And what's it like in the city where you're at?
Well, Zhongshan is in the Pearl River Delta. It's halfway between Guangzhou and Macau, and it's one of the it was one of the 5 dragons of the Pearl River Delta. Throughout the Pearl River Delta, you've got mega cities like Shenzhen, Dongguan, Guangzhou, and those are very well known. Zhongshan's probably the least well-known city. It's the least populated. It's definitely one that has a lot further to go as far as development goes. We don't have, subway systems here. We do have a high-speed rail that goes through, of course. But all of that is. Oh, did someone yell at me?
No. I think she's enjoying herself in the beautiful greenery out there. We'll come back to her soon, Aiko. We'll come back to you soon.
I did want to mention one thing that they do have here, and I have seen a lot here in China, is the BRT system. Cities at my side, it's not really a tier 1 city.
Right.
I think we're about a tier 3, I believe. Maybe a tier 2. I don't remember. They fluctuate. The
beautiful city.
Right. It is a gorgeous city, it being on the ocean, but the BRT system here is a cost-effective way, and of course all the buses are electric, but it is a cost-effective way to run public transportation down the center of city streets without investing in very, very expensive underground subways or elevated rail. So cities of this size are utilizing that level of public transportation to serve its citizens. And again, it's all electric, and it does basically the same thing as a light rail system. And it's expanding constantly, and it's very convenient. And it's one of the things I really love about this city's public transportation is that BRT system.
So
Bus rapid transit, if everyone knows what that is. Yeah, sorry.
So we're both from North America. I think that's correct, right?
Yep.
I mean, do you feel that, I know my country for sure, and of course, the United States of America are spending a tremendous amount of money on the environmental. Are we moving in the right direction? Is China learning from other people, you think, or are they leading the way, or a little bit of both?
I think definitely both. It's got to be both. I mean, environmental protection has been a thing in the United States. We had massive pollution. We still do in many places. But I remember as a kid in the 80s growing up in LA, there would be a lot of smog. And people didn't like that. But as I was growing up, my father got involved with marine conservation off the coast. And we're still involved heavily in that because the fisheries were being fished out. So that those laws were passed, and people trip and they stumble along the way because it's the first time we've tried doing it. China has learned from that when they started seeing that there were a lot of these pollution issues here, but they've really leveraged their capacity to jumpstart new technologies, adopt new technologies, and then are leading the way in a lot of these new technologies, not just with the scale of it all, but really research and saying, okay, we know this type of technology or infrastructure is very expensive, but we're going to do it. We're going to try it. We're going to try it on a massive scale to keep the costs down over time. And they've proven that it is a viable way of doing business, a viable way of energy production, of environmental conservancy, as well as integrating that into how we live our lives in the cities, in the natures. We do our business, we do our productions. We still have a long way to go in China, but the whole world has a long way to go still. So China is leading the way, and I'm happy to see that. And I think partners with the United States and with the EU and other countries with the Paris Agreement is a great step forward. So I'm very happy to see the world is taking this to heart.
I've also experienced a lot here locally. I'm not sure how it is in your city there, but in Chongqing here, there's a movement to get everybody into a green car. And it's easy to identify which cars are, environmentally friendly. They have green plates. I don't know if they do the same in your city.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
they definitely do.
There's some benefits towards that. Some is that you get free parking in many spots throughout the city now. So it's an encouragement. Also, that there are free charging centers around the town. Of course, you probably have that there. But it's a move, and it's an educational move. And China, even though they have a lot of great infrastructure in the city that I'm in now, where we have the largest monorail in the world and a lot of subways, it's getting even more people out of the cars. But the people that want to stay in the cars and do that commute, they've really encouraged people to buy these types of automobiles, and you will see them everywhere. Even in the shopping malls, they're being marketed. But it's a real push because Chongqing really struggled 30 or 40 years ago. I mean, this place was like a smokestack. It would just be pumping out. And they've really moved. I think there was as many as, it was over 4,000. Don't quote me on it, but almost 4,000 separate industry types, businesses or whatever. They've moved them and allocated them to an industrial park of town. And any of that extra space that they had, they make it into parks. I'm forever seeing new parks opening here, new trails. We just did a long video on the trails in the city here, and I was astonished at how many trails were in the city. Let's go have a peek at Aiko. Aiko, where are you?
Hi, I'm just walking this, this. It's not a garden. It's not actually not.
We're going to put you full screen, okay? We want to see what you're looking at.
Okay. So this is like a really colorful, natural plaza on this island, because this one here, this place was a historical site. It has some connections and stories about the World War II on this island. So they kept this historical. They built those houses to present those photographer works, those video works about the history, and to keep the history, to present the history to the public. Also, they built some natural, really, really beautiful, you know.
Hmm. So I've got some questions for you, Aiko, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry, what? You have some
I have some
questions?
I have some questions for you.
Okay, what question?
Okay, so how big is this island?
I think it's about 10 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question. Here we go.
Yeah.
Are there any automobiles on that island?
Yeah, of course. They have
Okay.
some electric vehicles driving on this island. Actually, if you want to visit this island, you have to take the electric bus to visit here. You have to cross the bridge, and
Wow.
and you can run on this island. And I saw an record, but he is probably from the US. He produced a video about how he took a marathon run on this island, circling run on this island. It's really great. They have like this.
Because the reason why I ask, Aiko, is if there are cars on there is because I don't think an island in the middle of a city in anywhere that I've been in North America that you can see that much green space and walks without there being massive developments around it or condos on it. So that's why I was really curious. And you're on a pathway, so I don't see any cars there. It looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's a pathway. It's not a driving way, but there are many automobile, but they are, and as I mentioned, they are mostly electric vehicles. But you said that it's really correct, because this place used to be development area in this city since like. But in I think in 2016, yeah, they stopped the development. They stopped the commercial development in this area, and they restored this place in a really ecological way, combined with the really innovative agriculture field kind of technology applied on this island. So this is a really magnificent restoration example.
It is very, very costly to do this, and when governments put this money into it, it's great, and it comes back to the government in the form of increased tax base when the property values rise. So these are all wonderful ideas, and it's something that we're seeing throughout the world. And China, of course, is doing it in every city. You can't go 20 minutes in a city without coming around something new like this with the village revitalization programs, especially that. I got a lot to talk about that.
Well, what we'll do in the near future, I think this calls for another more in-depth live stream in the future here. We did this on a little bit of short notice today, and Aiko, are you still with us?
Yeah.
enjoying the beautiful. I wish I was there. But what we'll do here in the near future is we'll definitely have all of you guys back on. Of course, Aiko will probably be the host going forward to the show. I'm in the studio today, and she is loving her time outside there. So from everyone here, I just want to thank everyone that came on to the show today. And thank you so much. And any closing things you want to tell us, Aiko?
I think the last one that I want to share with you guys is how amazing this place is, because I think I saw the most amount of birds on this island.
There are birds in China. Yes.
Yeah. There's a really important feature about this island is that the biodiversity on this island does increase, and in recent years, because of this ecological restoration. So I think this is the most amazing part on this island I've seen. many wildlife, and that's what we're missing in the city. And as Paul just said, yeah, it costs a lot of money for a government to invest someplace like this to giving back the nature to the citizens. But also this island, as I said, it's about 10 square kilometers large, but there are about 180 square kilometers. I don't know if the number is correct, but I will, make sure to make the right number on our post later. About 180 square meters large places around this island. They are developing the ecological versus the commercial, ecological versus the tourism, ecological versus intelligent industry, some kind of that industrials around this island because of this ecological recovery restoration project. And I think that's how we make our money back, and that's how we continuing on doing this, because you have to make sure it's like an industry. It's not something that and just stop like this. That cannot consist. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm really glad to have you guys with me on this.
Well, no problem, Aiko. Thank you for battling the rain today. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
and Paul, thank you. Paul, thank you so much for coming on short notice. I will put a link to Paul's channel here in the description below after the show. And we will definitely be back with a more in-depth conversation about this. As you know, we did this on the last minute thing. We wanted to bring you guys where Aiko was today, and especially our wonderful guest, Paul, here. I'm Alex here at the studio in iChongqing. We wish you all a very safe and healthy day. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.